O Show. This is the Big 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 O Show.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding. After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
Welcome to Caneswear.
New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
Oh, Sam, not again.
Daddy's back.
Go!
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Blink, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Blink. Be the maestro of your own home.
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Take $10,000 off a 2025 MDX at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. Miami Dolphins fans, time to rock out with another Dolphins pregame show. Big O and the boys are ready to give you the latest information, injury news, gambling insight as we get ready for kickoff. The pregame show is brought to you by Welton Rayom, Toyota of Hollywood, Acura of Pembroke Pines, Hialeah Park Casino, RM Contractors. The broadcast is mastered by executive producer Sean Stanley. Here's your host, the Big O, Orlando Alzugari.
All righty. Good evening, boys and girls, wherever you're at watching the show all over the world. Thank you so much for tuning in as we get you ready for a little Miami Dolphins and the Baltimore Ravens. What's going to happen, right? It's kind of like a Jack in the Box, right? You're just and then you just don't know what's going to pop out. And that's really what we're hoping for. We're hoping that what happened on Sunday is what pops out again today against the Baltimore Ravens. And it's interesting because right now, look at the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat have no superstars, right? And the Miami Heat are winning games because they're playing a team game. And in basketball, it normally revolves around superstars. And that's how it always has been here with the Miami Heat for many years. But right now, they don't have any. And they understand that they've got to play together. The sport of football is like that all the time. You are not carried by a superstar. You can't, because in football, there are 11 men on the field at one side of the ball, and then another 11 men on the field, and then there's another group of men that are on the field for special teams. And they all make a play in the game. They all can change the game. It could be a special teams play. It could be a defensive play. It could be an offensive play. The quarterback needs a running game, just like they need an offensive line. You need a defense. You've got to get after it. If you don't get after that quarterback, if you don't stop the run, if the coach isn't prepared, if he doesn't have the team prepared, all of these things come into play. And it's interesting that, one of the things that the Miami Dolphins have struggled with that imbalance. Whether it's the imbalance of being carried by Marino, but you don't have anything else to really sustain yourself like a defense or a running game. Or back in the early 2000s when you're being carried by Jason Taylor and Zach Thomas the entire time, And that defense, and you're counting on Sam Madison and Pat Surtain to not give up anything the entire game because your offense struggles. And so that's why Miami has failed year in and year out, decade in and decade out. There's always been an imbalance. And the last time that the scales were balanced was back in the 70s. And that's when you can count on both sides of the ball. That's when coaching on the sidelines was impeccable. That's when the front office was at its best. Everything was in synergy. Well, not that that's happening right now by any stretch whatsoever. But last Sunday, you had a team that chose to play complementary football. And it made everybody's life that much easier. The defense did their job. The offense did their job. Special teams did their job. Coaching did their job. And there was a beautiful synergy. You know it. I know it. We had fun watching the game on Sunday. In a shit season that probably is over and there's really not much to play for. We're all, we're sitting back hoping for the miracle of all miracles where they make just some run here and they win a whole bunch of games. If those of you old enough, you pull a Houston Oilers with Warren Moon or something like that. I understand that. Outside of that miracle, okay, what's there to play for? Well, listen, you could sit there and be a sourpuss and be rooting against your team, which I don't ever understand that. And plus, you're never going to control whether they win or lose anyway. So if you're a good fan, you are pissed when they're not doing well. And if they're doing well, well, then you've got to be happy about that because, it is your team, right? I know I had a shit ton of fun on Sunday. I really enjoyed myself watching that because that was real football. That was complimentary football. That is the only way this team will win because that's how you win in football. And I don't know if the defense was already kind of showing you a couple of things the last couple of weeks in certain instances. And last week they were able to put it together. But again, the Kirk Cousins thing hurts it, right? So now you got Lamar back. So now we're going to see, can this defense actually, step up? Okay. So if they stop these guys from running, then all of a sudden we're saying, well, maybe, Weaver and company have figured things out. And if they can come out and play the complementary football that they played on offense, okay, then we're going to have some fun tonight. But you all know we're terrified of door number 2. And door number 2 is everything that's gone on the last few weeks before that. When this plays aren't in on time, when the players aren't prepared, when the team isn't blocking, when they can't run the ball, when they can't stop anybody, all the things we didn't see on Sunday, those are all the things that used to happen all throughout. And that's been more of the consistent thing. The aberration was Sunday. And that's where we're all on the edge of our seats wondering what happened. Are you a better team at least from here on out? Or are you the same team before last week? And that I cannot answer that. You cannot answer that. None of us can answer it on the field at Hard Rock Stadium before all our eyes. That's when they're going to answer it. And that's when we're going to find out, okay, aberration, shit season continues. All right, ho-hum. And then we're all pissed off. Or, all right, this is fun. Let's go. Okay? The only people that are going to be pissed off are all the people that are just thinking about a draft pick. And that doesn't really, as I've mentioned before, that doesn't really matter. Okay? You drafted what's a terrific man from Michigan, now I'm forgetting his name, the big ass lineman, and it didn't change. Ronnie Brown was number 2 overall. Deion Jordan was number 4 or 5. Tua's at 5. You drafted in the top 5 a whole bunch of times. Jake Long, I was thinking of. You've drafted, and So thinking of, oh my God, we're going to ruin our top 5 pick or whatever, and I get it. You like the Alabama kid, you like the Indiana kid. Okay, great. But you're going to need the top 3 pick for that. And you and I know that they're going to win a few games. So it is what it is. It's football. These people have pride. They're professionals. What you saw on Sunday was a bunch of dudes with pride in what they do. It takes a lot. By the way, it takes a shit ton of professionalism by the Miami Dolphin players to play as crappy as they were, be 1-6 or whatever, and then put together that performance to go 2-6. That means there's still some pride in what you do. That means you still want to correct what you have wronged over and over again. That says a lot about those guys in that sense. I got to give them credit. And it was a road game and everything. And we all thought that Bijan was going to run all over them for 87,000 yards in that game. And it didn't happen. It's amazing. Just don't know what's going to happen today. I'm super intrigued and I can't wait. But we'll see what happens. By the way, folks, please don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button. It's very important that you smash the hell out of the like button as we get you ready for the game. We'll be back for the post-game show. Remember, you can always make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation as always, and we appreciate that immensely. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We do have the inactives for you. Jalen Wright. So much for the 3-headed running back. It's a short week. Unless Jalen Wright is injured, I'm not really a fan of this, but he is inactive. Quinn Ewers is the emergency third quarterback. Ashton Davis is on the inactive list. Juju Brents, Jordan Colbert, unfortunately Julian Hill, which was expected, and Zeke Biggers. But Jalen Wright is kind of the surprise. Yeah, so, that kind of sucks. And, so we'll see what happens. By the way, we reached out to the wise guy. We'll have the wise guy picks tomorrow for you. He is 6-0 in the last 2 weeks, 3-0, 3-0 last 2 weeks. So we asked him if he didn't have any interest in this game. Personally, I took the Dolphins +8. I'm an idiot. I know. Sorry. I'm an idiot. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. Sorry. Drinking the Kool-Aid. They played such good football last week. I got to figure that we're going to get some of that again this week. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say we're going to get a little more of that this week. So we'll see. And the Baltimore Ravens haven't been a great team, and their defense isn't any great shakes. So I'm just hoping that McDummy can actually coach 2 games in a row like he did last week and do it once again. That would be absolutely beautiful if he's able to do that. And remember, you can always send your questions and comments and insults and everything there on Cash App or Venmo as always, and I appreciate it immensely. I see NorCal is in. I see Jay Gelfin in the house. TJ Superman, thank you, sir. He says, Big O, I got Dolphins +8. Devon, 6 catches and 50 yards receiving for my parlay. All right. George Gross, hit the like button. Ragin is in. He says, one more step closer to the bottom. Jeff in Long Island, how many fans are smoking the hopium like Orlando? My bets, Gordon anytime touchdown, Gordon 25+ yards rushing, HN 60+ yards rushing, and Tua over 239 yards passing. All right. I have a parlay for you. A little bit of a crazy parlay, but I've got it for you. I made one parlay. I don't know. Let me give it to you right now so you guys have time to decide if you want to go along with my. Remember, I am not a financial expert. Never have financial advice. I'm not a gambling expert or nothing like that. Expert at nothing whatsoever. Okay, you do things at your own risk. Let's see. Here we go. Let me log in first, of course. Now I could go to my bets. All right, here we go. This is my 3-bet parlay. Okay. It's Jalen Waddle anytime touchdown. It's Tua Tagovailoa over 1.5 touchdowns. So I'm counting on him to throw 2 touchdown passes. And I'm feeling even better about this now, Ollie Gordon over 39.5 rushing yards. That is plus 1,100, that parlay. Okay? All right? So there you go. And by the way, this is a side one just for fun. I did this on my own. This is nothing to do straight up with the football. This is a mix. I took Dolphins plus 8. I took Ollie Gordon over 24.5 rushing yards. And I took the Heat plus 5.5. And that is a plus 661 in that 3-bet parlay. So there you go. I got 2 crazy parlays. I'm going to wait for the live game here for the Dolphins. I may try to lay a little extra money if I can get an extra bargain, something, little extra points, all that kind of stuff. So there you go. That's my parlay plays for today. All right. Michelle Cuervo, I guess you haven't kept up during the week. Yeah, he's wearing the visor, which is, I think every quarterback should wear a visor. It shades your eyes from the defense. They don't really know exactly what you're looking. You can fake them more with your head, with your eyes. You can work your peripheral vision, and they don't know. So I don't know why he wouldn't wear it. I know he was wearing it simply out of protection, but he's going to wear it anyways. He already said it. So that makes a lot of sense to wear it. Plus, it protects just in case you get tackled, any fingers get in there accidentally or whatever, or on purpose. Anyway, Dolphin Dave is in. Billy Bob, loving his rock and roll. No doubt. Gus 1388. Francesco, sick Jersey. Oh, any chance they sprinkle in a little more Jalen Wright tonight? Well, you just found out, right? No Jalen Wright tonight. Weird. He must have had an injury or something. I don't know. Mike McDaniel, I can't really explain that man sometimes. Enemy Bob is hitting that like button. Thank you, sir. Ryan AP. Tim Big Riggins. Jay Slim. No, you demand. No, you demand, Jay Slim. How can I be the man if you demand? Jacques Bethune. I don't know about therapy, but I feel the same pains and emotions that you all do when it comes to the Dolphins. True Fin hoping we beat the Ravens. However, it feels like the typical Dolphin letdown, catastrophic game. Harbaugh versus McDaniel is scary, especially with the team this year. I don't know. Yeah, I'm drinking Kool-Aid, bro. Sorry. No doubt. Brian Landis. Think our boys have a shot tonight, But, of course, I'm Mr. Negative. Let's see. Brian Landis, good evening. Going to be a tough assignment tonight. Hopefully they bring it. That's what I'm hoping to. I'm hoping that, that's why I took the Dolphins. I'm not saying that they'll win, but I think they're going to play a decent game tonight. I think they're going to play a respectable game that even if they lose, it won't be a blowout. It'll be a close loss. I'm actually believing that. I'm actually believing that we're going to get a decent game from them. We'll see. Hey, listen, man, they've let me down for decades now. So, it's not the first time that, I'm a little hopeful for them to turn the corner a little bit and play a little better. Jaquez wants Mendoza. Let's see. James says they're probably trading Wright. That actually could be very good call on your part. Could be very good call. I mean, they don't use them that much. So that one makes sense because you drafted Ollie and he's a keeper, and you already have Acha and he's a stud. So if somebody wants a running back and you can move Jalen Wright, I like that call on your part. I like that call because it really doesn't make sense to keep him out, you know? Even though I think that Chubb is the guy that if they move anybody, as I've been telling you for like 7-8 months or something now, that Chubb would be the target and Tyreek, but Tyreek's gone. So now Chubb is the only guy that I think has the chance to move. I don't really think anybody else, but the Jalen Wright thing is kind of interesting that you mentioned that. That's good thinking on your part there. I like that. I like your thinking there. There could be something to it. Jamie Rickard is in the house. Matt G. None of us know why, sir. Luis Notare from the Jersey Shore. What else? Magnus, 80 Dances. Paul in Connecticut. Can we get a big win today for us once? It would be nice. I'm hoping that, my friend. Eric Scott, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. Let's go, boys. And Ocala Joe says, afternoon. Oh, I just hope we can get that love and feeling we got last week. I'm with you, man. Even though Wright is inactive, I want that righteous brothers feeling. Yes. I'm with you there, sir. I like that. So, good stuff. What else do we have that we wanted to talk about? By the way, is it still Ravens by 8? Let me see the live line right now. Where are we at? Actually, it's down 7.5 now. Ravens by 7.5. So those of you that took it at 8, you're getting a little bit of a bargain at this point. The over and under is still stuck at 51.5, and the money lines haven't changed. Miami is still plus 350. And the Ravens are still minus 450. Okay. I mean, listen, I took the points. You know, there's a couple of, like, I'm drinking a little bit of the Kool-Aid here, and I took the points because I think they're going to play a game tonight. You know, maybe win, but for sure keep it at least a tight game. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. So that's where my Kool-Aid drinking. I know there's some Dolphins that took the Dolphins plus 350. For sure out there. For sure, dude, there are going to be people that are going to take them at plus 350. That's good money line odds right there. You're home. You're not the road team. You're the home team. Even Lamar coming back, he may not be sharp. It's his first game back. He's not necessarily the most accurate dude. So if you stop the run, you could force him to throw, and he might be a little bit more erratic than he normally would be because he's been off a little bit. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's Dolphins out there that took the money line Dolphins, not just like, you know, some of you think I'm brave because I took the Dolphins plus 8, or somebody takes them plus 7.5. I've been talking all week Dolphins maybe plus because of that hook. I love the extra half a point or point, man. And I loved it at 8 because now you got to beat me with 9. And I know. Dolphins can easily get routed and all that good stuff. And I get I know how it goes. By the way, remember, Caneswear, you can get your Dolphins gear there. All right. And use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off. All right. And don't forget, folks, you can stay Big E strong. We got to fight for our guy, Big E. Get your bracelets. Reach out to the Sports Babe and Lou. All that info is right there on the billboard. And please support our buddy Ian, who's got a hell of a fight in front of him. But we've got to make that, teamwork. Again, teamwork. All right? Let's help him out. He's got medical bills and help out him and his family. So let's do it. One of the most selfless people on the planet is Big E, man. That is one special dude. So do your part, please, as a Dolphin. All right. Remember, post game, David Furones will join us with our Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins post-game report, and Chris Perkins, also fresh from the locker rooms, will join us with our EJDconstruction.com post-game reports. Okay? Big O drinking that Kool-Aid. I am, Randy. I'm guilty. I get it.
Blind ass fan alert. Look out, everyone. We've got a blind ass fan coming through.
I deserve it, Randy. I deserve the blind ass fan alert. What can I tell you? You know? Mossy says, hey, my wife wants to know where you got that blinking Eiffel Tower behind you. Oh, long story. I guess you guys, I've explained it a couple of times. This tower, I got it in Paris. I took my wife for our 25th wedding anniversary to Paris, and I gave her a brand new wedding ring in the Eiffel Tower for dinner. And we had a hotel room that's literally like a block away from the Eiffel Tower. Like you lean out of our we have pictures where we took a selfie and we're out of our balcony, and the Eiffel Tower is like right behind us. Like if I had a baseball, I could hit it with the Eiffel Tower. That's how close it was. It was awesome. So a lot of the stores around there, they have Eiffel Towers, and I was looking for a big one to take home with us, and I found that one, and so I bought it, and that's a memory from our trip to Paris for our 25th wedding anniversary. We are now 32 years married. That was 7 years ago now for that. But yeah, and we were very lucky too, because we saw Notre Dame before it burned down, so we got to see the old Notre Dame. Hopefully the next time we go, we get to see the new one. But yeah, that's where I got it. And so I light it up every day on the show. And it's a memory of our 25th wedding anniversary. So that's the story. And I'm sticking to it. Let's see. What else do we have? I guess we have to wait until game day to drink our Kool-Aid. Pass me a cup, says Darren. I don't know if you addressed it yet. What are your thoughts on the Colts' daughter being sidelined with headset and call sheet? I'm fine with that. She owns the team. She can do whatever she wants. She wants to find. By the way, the Colts are doing pretty good, right? Whatever they're doing all right. Shane Steichen is a good coach. So apparently, whatever. You own the team. You get to do whatever you want. If you want to listen in to make sure, you want to hear that these people are organized and they know what they're doing, I'm all for it. And maybe she's like a sports person that as she grew up in the family, she loved it and followed it. You know what I mean? And is educated about it. And if you own, you want to know. So I don't have a problem with that. If I owned the team, I would be all over to make sure I had competent people all over. So that's how I would do it. Randy says, F it, I'm putting some cheese on the Dolphins in the Heat money line parlay, baby. 305 for life. He's pumped. My pocket potato says, Big O, it's about time you got a blind ass fan alert. I got it. I'm just as guilty as you guys. Of, thinking crazy things, saying crazy things, hoping for crazy things. It happens. Here I am. I think that the Dolphins are going to put up a hell of a game today. I don't know why, but I and you know what? I have no reason to think that. You all out there that diss me or don't believe, you're right. I'm wrong. There's a good chance they're going to let us down. It's kind of what they do. But no, I'm just gonna. I'm moving forward. I'm moving forward with this. I think we're going to get a good performance tonight. I have too many games to go to keep thinking about bad games. Robert McGinnis says, Big O, we could use Chris Chambers again. Yes, we could. So there you go. Yes. A little Chambers. We could use him. It would be nice. Start Ollie, maybe next to Earl Campbell, Ricky Williams. Give him a chance. I like it. It's a decent backfield right there. Did you see Quasimodo? Yes, in my sleep. I only ask because I wish our owner was like that. I don't know if our owner is smart enough to know what's right or wrong. You know what I mean? This is the guy that extended McDaniel and extended Joe Philbin. Like, why? Why would you do that? That was the craziest shit in the world. Let's see. Kevin says, was it Paris nice? Was Paris nice, Big O? Good sightseeing food? Yes. No, it was. I had a great time. That was my second time. I went to Paris when I was 18, and then I went, 7 years ago, for our 25th wedding anniversary. I wanted to take my wife. She had never been there. So yeah, I had a great time. The food was awesome. We took a glass boat tour on the Seine during sunset. I knocked it out of the park that week, bro. Knocked it out of that park that week. I gave her a week that, like, how many husbands come through for their wives that way, where you give them a trip to Paris, you sneak through 2 metal detectors, a ring. So I'm a tall guy. I'm 6'1". She's a small girl. She's like 5'4", 5'3". So, and it was cold, so I took off my jacket when we were going through the first metal detector. See, she's standing behind me, so she can't see over me. So the jacket shoots off the metal detector. So I reach into the pockets of the jacket, and I take out my keys and the ring. And if you're wondering why I'm carrying keys around, I have a package of nitro that I carry around. That those nitro pills, if I have a heart attack, you can reach in for them and put them under my tongue and maybe save my life. So I carry the keychain around all the time with me wherever I go. And so, not that you need it in Paris, because I don't need keys in Paris. I just need a hotel key, but I had to carry my keys. So it was a great play that I had it on me, because I always have to have it on me just in case I have heart issues. So he goes, the thing shoots out. I go, oh no, it's just my keys. And I took out the keys and the ring at the same time. And the metal detector person goes, oh, go ahead. And I just stuck it back in the jacket, boom. And then I go up another floor, and little do I know, there was a second metal detector. I had no idea. Second metal detector. And I pulled off the same thing. I kept her behind me, and I got away with it. So there you go. And then how I pulled it off, by the way, just so you'll know, just so I can finish the story, might as well. Might give you guys an idea. So we got a window table overlooking Paris in the middle of the Eiffel Tower, the restaurant. And I told her I'm going to the bathroom. So then I got the maitre d'. I gave him my phone to start filming. So he filmed me coming up the stairs and going to the table and giving her the new ring and all that. So that was pretty cool. So I was able to save that too. So all of that, folks. Good stuff. There you go. That's an idea for you. If you guys want to knock it out of the park, that's how you knock it out of the park. That's one that your lady will never forget, dude. Never forget. All right. There you go. Enough of my silly stuff. Let's see. What else do we have? Big O, give me a blind ass fan. Mike McDaniel coaching a great game. You got it, baby.
Blind ass fan alert. Look out, everyone. We've got a blind ass fan coming through.
I got to say, he left me speechless on Sunday. It was so screwed up what happened on Sunday to all of us that people thought Frank Smith called the game. That's all you need to know. It was so out of character. It was so actually logical, thoughtful. It was real coaching. It was like, where has this all been? And, you got backup linemen and everything. And everything's working and everything's popping and there's space and everything for everybody. And you're like, where has this all been? And it was so different, so odd, so weird, so out of character that people were like, oh, no, Frank Smith is calling the game. No, there's no way this guy's calling the game. Excuse me. So nobody thought that that Mike McDaniel, or a lot of people thought that Mike McDaniel wasn't calling the game, and he was. And so we're going to find out tonight that the combination, since Mike doesn't coach during a game, he stays there with that stupid play sheet and all that kind of crap, just looking at it, even on defense, and it just makes no sense. Like we talked about like a couple of weeks ago when Ewers walked off from playing, and the guy didn't even look at him. And it had to be Tua to come off to kind of, hey, yeah, no, it was good, man. Hang in there. Because it was a rough outing for the poor kid. Because, of course, who the hell was going to have success in that environment? Terrible environment. And that's how bad it was that many of you were convinced that it wasn't Mike McDaniel coaching or calling plays. So tonight will be very exciting to see if Mike McDaniel can now design another game plan against this team and outwit them and keep things off balance and keep complementing his players, his running game, his passing game, and so on and so forth. We're going to find out. All of these things we're going to find out if that's actually, it can happen. But that's how screwed up it is. It was so screwed up that you didn't think Mike McDaniel did what he did last week. So that's why Mike McDaniel has to do it again for us to actually even believe that he can do it. Adam Pinkster says Shane Steichen gets the most out of his players, unlike McDumbass. That is true. That is true. Fire Chambers jersey. Thank you, AD Dances. Thank you. Stephen Rowell. Thank you, sir, for your generosity. Thank you. Says on the super chat, he says, I trust Tyreek not getting another chick pregnant than I do the Dolphins tonight, since the 2001 Ravens have been our daddy, just like the Bills have been Josh Allen got there. Yeah, I get it. I totally understand. But this guy's beat the Ravens, Tua. He has one of the most, in fact, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Tua Tagovailoa owns the most memorable victory against the Ravens in the history of the Dolphins playing the Ravens. So, you can look at it that way too. Okay. On the road, off the bench, enormous performance, clutch performance in a week where they told him to get lost. And he was like golfing most of that week. And he comes off the bench for Jabroni. Remember that? So not too bad. Who are you putting in as QB spy tonight, Oh? Oh, I've got to have what's it called? Our middle backer, bro. What's his name? Damn it. Brooks. Brooks is the guy that I gotta have spying on his ass. Let me see. Give me Lamar Smith and Ricky Williams. No Sean Moreno. Derrick Henry as my all-time 4 dream roster. There you go. Let's see. That's a great story, Big O. Thank you, Dolphin Dave. It's the 25th wedding anniversary. I had to do something like top notch. You get there for 25 years. You gotta do something like really, really special. So I wanted to make sure I did that. The good thing is that I don't have to do another one till 50, right? No, I think I'm going to have to do one now at 35. At 50, we're in walkers and shit, you know? Ragin says, I have no faith on the clown. I still think Frank Smith called last week's game. You see what I'm saying? Berserker skin, whatever it says there. Hate that Wright was inactive. Hope we stick to the run. I know. I'm wondering what wrinkle are they adding to it, because unless you're going to give, because what I told you guys was we got a short week. I don't want to overload Achan, so I'd rather give Ollie, especially against the Ravens, pound them with Ollie, but I also want to give Jay Wright some run, because now you got him involved. And I don't know if he got banged up. You know what? I haven't even checked to see if there's anything from anybody out there putting anything, even national guys. I don't know if they would for Jay Wright, because he's not much of a name. But at least right now, I'm overlooking right now to see if there's any news, and I just don't see anything right now. I normally have Sean with me on the post games, but on the pregame, Sean takes off. Today we did the morning show, now this, now evening. Yeah, Sean does enough. So I don't see anything here so far on that. But I don't like it either that Jalen Wright is not active. Now, if he's injured, what are we going to do? Right? I mean, it is what it is. The Camarillo game was not a great game. That was like a lucky play. And it's not better than Tua's performance, dude. You know, come on, enemy Bob. Let's go, dude. Let's be a little bit objective here, okay? The Tua comeback against the Ravens is the best win in Dolphin history against the Ravens team. Period. End of story. That's it. Over. Best win ever against the Ravens was that one by Tua. It's not even up for debate, you know? And the team was actually half decent. That team that you're talking about was a shit team. They got lucky to avoid a winless season. There's nothing to be proud of there. One of the things I can't stand about our recent history is that we celebrate garbage plays that were part of garbage seasons. The miracle in Miami, garbage season, garbage play. It's just, it was funny against the Patriots and Gronk trying to tackle at the end. And that one right there against, because you're saving yourself from going 0-16. And these are things that are like celebrated in our recent past. That's how shitty our franchise is. You know what I mean? That those are like memories. They shouldn't be memories. They should be some highlight, but that's about it. But they're looked upon fondly. Nothing about that is to be looked at fondly at all. None of it. And that's the sad part. But that's how low the totem pole is for the Miami Dolphins and their fans. The fan base has gotten to a point where they don't really know what championship or elite looks like. So they settle for like the lowest things that happen. And their bar is very low on average. And that happens a lot. And that's because we've been stuck with a really crappy recent history. And because the team doesn't accomplish anything whatsoever. Ever. It's crazy. Let's see. What else do we have? So more rushes from Malik. Yeah, I know. That's probably it. Yep. I predicted the Patriots being better than us this season. Yeah, so did I. Most had no idea. 100 million spent plus the draft plus the coach. Their window starts this season. Yeah. Yep. And they have the young quarterback. The only thing is that now they're going to have to pay him shortly, in one more year, they have to pay him. So that's where, their window tightens up quickly. So next year they'll be able to take advantage, and then the year after that, well, no, actually they can put it off the big money for 2 more years, actually. So he'll have 2 more years before that big money really starts to kick in. So it's all right. Not at least for them, that'll be their window. Kevin says 100% right. I still am seeing Finns talking about just making the playoffs and losing, and losing is the goal. Right. Exactly. That's kind of what it is. Like a playoff win is that's kind of like our goal nowadays as Dolphin fans. Like a playoff win. It's nothing, dude. That's garbage, a playoff win. It's a nice start, but it's nothing to hang your hat on, unless you're a perennial playoff team. Now we're talking. That's what I'm talking about. That I love, a perennial playoff team. So, unbelievable that it took just one meaningless game versus an inferior team to do a 180 on McDandy. No, there's no 180 on anybody there right now. Not on the team, not on the players. You're just hoping that today. Now, if they do play well today against the Ravens and either win or lose a really good, tight game, people start feeling like they're turning a corner at least, and you're going to at least get respectable football moving forward. That's going to be the thought if they come up with a hell of a performance today against the Ravens. And by the way, the flip side also, I'm sure just like what they did last week, that it was Kirk Cousins, if Miami wins this week, they'll say, well, Miami also got lucky that, Lamar just got back and all that. So they'll do that too, and they'll downplay it also. Just like, because a win's a win, period. It doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? And a dominant win is a dominant win. When you play clean football like they played on Sunday, you got to give them some credit for that. Have they turned the corner? Hell no. Hell no. But are they capable of playing like that again? Of course they are. Sure they are. They're capable. If they did it once, they can do it again. It's just a matter of the structure. We're going to find out if having Frank Smith on the sidelines creates the structure that the offense needs. Now, having Frank Smith on the sidelines had nothing to do with the way the defense played. Okay? So that's another part of the equation that was beautiful this past week, where they were flying to the ball, and you had your middle linebacker just setting the tone from the get-go. So we're going to find out if they can do that again. And it's going to be hard to stop those two monsters running the ball. Let's see. Zay Flowers, by the way, told Cameron Wolf that he felt butterflies on the field in pregame. This is his first game at home in South Florida since high school. He wants a big night. He says he had to get 50 to 70 people tickets. So there you go. All right. Should be fun. Should be a lot of fun. Remember, post-game, David Furones will join us, and Chris Perkins fresh from the locker room. So we'll have a little fun, and hopefully we'll be talking about a victory. Don't forget, folks, please smash the hell out of the like button. More than double watching than likes. We're not even over 100, man. You can get us over 100. Very, very important, okay? Very important. That Thursday game was a memorable game. Awesome game by Tua. I know Flores wanted to put Jabroni back in. Well, he thought about it because Jabroni said he was ready, and then he said, nah, we'll keep you on the sidelines. We'll leave Tua in there. And, Flo's dumbass kind of figured out, yeah, this guy's actually the better quarterback. It's just the level of stupidity at times that we've had with the Dolphins just kind of blows you away, So just not Just not fun sometimes being a Dolphin fan going through some of this stuff. So we'll see. Anthony says, completely forgot about Ricky Williams played for the Ravens. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yep. Yep. All right. All right, folks. We are out of here. We will see you post-game. And all I can say is, go Dolphins.